Folks, most men think a hug is harmless, friendly, forgettable. That belief is exactly why they never understand why attraction fades instead of ignites. Let's be real. You meet a woman, there is chemistry, the conversation flows, the moment feels right, and then it ends with a quick, polite hug. No spark, no tension, no pull. Later, you wonder what went wrong because everything else seemed fine. Here's the part no one tells you. Touch is not about pressure or force. It is about timing, presence, and restraint. The body responds to signals long before the mind catches up. Most men rush the moment or treat it like a social formality. Both kill desire instantly. I'm not here to teach you tricks or awkward techniques. I'm here to show you the psychological principles that separate a forgettable hug from a moment that lingers in her body and mind. This is about how masculine control, calm pacing, and emotional grounding quietly flip attraction switches. When you understand what actually triggers response, you stop guessing, you stop overthinking, you stop doing too much. Instead, you become deliberate, composed, and memorable without trying to impress. This knowledge protects your dignity while increasing attraction without manipulation. Stay with me. By the end of this video, you'll understand why one controlled moment can do more than 100 words ever could. Let's get into it. Number 1. Why most hugs feel weak. Folks, let's be real from the start. Most hugs feel weak not because men lack confidence, but because they lack presence. A hug is often treated like a social reflex instead of a psychological moment. And when there is no intention behind it, nothing is felt afterward. Most men rush the hug. They step in too fast, wrap their arms automatically, and pull away just as quickly. It feels polite, it feels safe, and it feels completely forgettable. That speed sends one message through the body: discomfort. Let's talk honestly. When a man is uncomfortable in a moment, he tries to end it quickly. That nervous urgency is communicated without a single word, and the body picks it up instantly. Here's where things go wrong. A hug is not about physical contact. It is about emotional signaling. The body is constantly reading cues. Is this person grounded? Is he calm? Is he fully present? Or is he trying to escape the moment? Most hugs fail because they are disconnected from the man's internal state. Let me give you a real situation. Kevin is 49, works in commercial real estate in Denver. He meets Michelle, 45, a divorced project manager. They spend an evening talking easily. There is warmth. There is eye contact. When it's time to leave, Kevin goes in fast for a quick hug. Michelle smiles politely, but the moment collapses. The connection doesn't carry forward. Nothing inappropriate happened. Nothing awkward happened. But nothing stayed. The reason is simple. Kevin's body was rushing before his presence arrived. A week later, Kevin approaches the moment differently. He slows down before the hug. He stands still for a brief moment. He allows the space to settle. When the hug happens, it feels deliberate instead of automatic. Michelle feels the difference immediately, even though she can't explain it. That difference is grounding. Most hugs feel weak because they lack stillness. Stillness is what creates weight. Weight is what creates impact. This is where Stoic discipline matters. A man who can remain calm in silence communicates strength. When you are comfortable occupying space without rushing, the other person relaxes. Relaxation is where connection deepens. Another mistake men make is overcompensating. They try to make the hug meaningful through force or duration. That feels performative. True intensity comes from restraint, not effort. Michelle didn't respond to Kevin doing more. She responded to Kevin doing less with more awareness. Here is the principle. The more rushed the internal state, the weaker the moment. The more grounded the internal state, the stronger the signal. A hug should feel intentional, not apologetic. It should communicate that you are comfortable being present without needing to rush forward or pull away. If you've ever felt a moment lose its energy right after a hug, type, "I've felt that" in the comments. Stick with me because this is just the beginning. Next, we'll break down the psychology hidden inside touch and why the body reacts before the mind ever catches up. Number 2. The psychology hidden inside touch. Folks, let's strip this down to fundamentals. Touch does not work because of force technique or confidence theater. Touch works because the nervous system reads intention faster than the mind can label it. Long before words, the body decides whether something feels safe, neutral, or charged. Most men think touch is physical. It is not. It is neurological. Skin is just the messenger. The real reaction happens inside the brain, where meaning is assigned. When touch carries calm authority, the body softens. When touch carries anxiety or urgency, the body resists. Let's be real. A rushed hug feels wrong even if nothing improper happens. Why? Because the body senses instability. Stoic philosophy understood this long ago. Epictetus taught that we are disturbed not by events, but by the meaning we attach to them. Touch follows the same rule. It is not the contact, it is the signal behind it. When a man touches from a centered state, the message is simple. I am present. I am comfortable. I am not trying to take anything. That message allows the nervous system to relax. Relaxation is where receptivity begins. Here is where most men sabotage themselves. They touch while mentally checking outcomes. Am I doing this right? Is she reacting? Should I pull away? That internal noise is transmitted through the body. Marcus Aurelius warned against scattering the mind. A scattered mind creates scattered energy, and scattered energy never feels grounding. Touch also communicates status, not social status, but internal status. A man who moves slowly and deliberately signals self-command. A man who moves fast signals uncertainty. The body reads speed as intention. Slowness reads as choice. Choice reads as control. This is why stillness inside a hug matters more than movement. The pause before contact allows the nervous system to orient. Without that pause, the body stays guarded. With it, the body settles. Another psychological layer is containment. Touch that feels good has clear boundaries. It begins and ends cleanly. When a man lingers without awareness, the body feels invaded. When a man maintains structure, the body feels held. Structure creates trust. Trust allows sensation to deepen. Seneca wrote that self-mastery is the highest power. In touch, self-mastery shows up as restraint, not holding longer than necessary, not escalating to compensate for insecurity, letting the moment be what it is without pushing it somewhere. This is important. The body responds to authenticity. Any attempt to manufacture reaction collapses the signal. Touch should express who you are, not who you want to be seen as. When touch is aligned, it does something subtle. It creates memory. The body remembers how it felt, even if the mind moves on. That memory becomes association. Association becomes attraction. Most hugs fail because they are disconnected from the man's internal state. When your inner world is calm, touch becomes calm. When your inner world is rushed, touch becomes noise. This is the discipline most men avoid practicing. Slow down internally before you ever move externally. Feel your breath, feel your weight. Let the moment arrive. When you do this consistently, touch stops being awkward and starts feeling deliberate, grounded, and unmistakably different. Remember this principle when the moment matters there. If this reframes how you see touch, type, I feel the difference in the comments. Stay with me because next we will break down how presence alone can change everything without adding a single extra move. Number 3. How presence changes everything. Folks, presence is the invisible factor that turns an ordinary moment into a memorable one. Let's be real. Presence is not confidence, tricks, or clever timing. It is the felt sense that you are fully here, unhurried, and grounded in your own body. Most men think presence comes from doing something, saying the right line, making the right move. In reality, presence comes from stopping. When you stop chasing outcomes, your body settles. When your body settles, the moment changes. Presence communicates safety and strength at the same time. Safety because there is no pressure, strength because there is no need. That combination is rare, and the body recognizes it instantly. Here is a real situation. Daniel is 50, a manufacturing manager in Ohio. He meets Erica, 46, a non-profit director. Conversation flows easily. When they stand to say goodbye, Daniel notices his usual urge to rush. This time he does not. He slows his breath. He stands still for a second. Erica feels it before anything happens. The atmosphere shifts. Nothing dramatic occurs. No extra words, no exaggerated gesture. Yet the moment feels heavier, more intentional. Erica later describes it as feeling seen, even though Daniel said almost nothing. That is presence at work. Presence changes everything because it regulates the nervous system. When you are present, your movements are deliberate. Your pauses are comfortable. Your attention is undivided. The other person feels less watched and more held. Most men sabotage presence with internal noise. They monitor reactions. They evaluate themselves. They plan the next step. All of that pulls them out of the moment. The body senses the split and tightens. Stoic discipline teaches the opposite. Focus on what is within your control, your breath, your posture, your pace. When you anchor there, you stop leaking energy outward. Back to Daniel and Erica. On their next meeting, Daniel maintains the same grounded pace. He does not rush transitions. He does not fill silence. Erica becomes more expressive. She laughs more freely. She stays closer. Presence invites openness. Here is the rule to remember. The calmer you are internally, the stronger the moment feels externally. Presence amplifies whatever is already there. If there is warmth, it deepens. If there is curiosity, it sharpens. Another mistake men make is trying to manufacture presence. They perform stillness. They hold poses. That feels stiff. Real presence is fluid. It responds without urgency. Erica did not respond to technique. She responded to Daniel being settled. That settlement allowed her body to relax and lean in emotionally. Presence also creates boundaries. When you are present, you know when to begin and end moments cleanly. You do not linger out of fear. You do not pull away out of discomfort. Clean endings leave residue. Rushed endings erase it. Presence is built through repetition, not talent. Practice it in low-stakes moments, elevators, handshakes, goodbyes. Each time you choose calm over rush, your body learns stability, and stability quietly reshapes how others experience you without force or explanation needed. If you have ever noticed a moment shift when you slowed down, type "I felt that" in the comments. Stay with me because next we will break down where control matters most and why subtle placement beats force every time. Number 4. Where your hands really matter. Folks, let's clear the confusion without getting lost in details. Where your hands matter is not about technique or clever placement. It is about what your hands communicate emotionally in a brief moment of connection. Hands are not tools. They are signals. Most men think impact comes from doing more. More movement, more certainty, more intention layered on top. Let's be real. The body does not respond to effort. It responds to clarity. And clarity comes from restraint. When contact happens, the nervous system is scanning for one thing. Is this man controlled or reactive? Your hands answer that question faster than words ever could, not by what they do, but by how calm and deliberate they feel. Here is the psychological layer most men miss. The body interprets frantic movement as uncertainty. Slow, contained movement is read as confidence. Confidence without force creates trust. Trust allows sensation to register instead of being filtered out. Stoic philosophy points directly to this. Marcus Aurelius wrote that strength is shown in self-command, not in outward display. In moments of contact, self-command is felt as steadiness. A man who governs himself does not rush to fill space or escalate moments. He allows them to exist. Where your hands matter most is in how they frame the moment. Are they arriving with hesitation? Are they drifting aimlessly? Or do they settle with purpose and stillness? Stillness communicates decision. Decision communicates leadership. Most men fail because they mirror their internal noise. Their hands move before their mind is settled. That disconnect creates mixed signals. Mixed signals create emotional shutdown. Another Stoic insight applies here. Epictetus taught that no man is free who is not master of himself. When your internal state is calm, your external actions become simple. Simplicity is attractive because it feels intentional. This is not about invading space. It is about respecting it. Hands that feel grounded respect boundaries naturally. They begin and end cleanly. There is no lingering confusion. That clarity is felt as safety mixed with quiet tension. Men often ask, what exactly to do? That question itself reveals the problem. When you are present, you do not need instructions. You respond to the moment instead of forcing it. Forced actions are always felt. Hands that matter move slowly enough for the body to register them. They pause long enough to let sensation catch up. They withdraw without anxiety. This rhythm tells the nervous system that nothing is being taken. Everything is chosen. Seneca warned that impatience is a form of weakness. In physical moments, impatience collapses impact. Patience allows depth. Depth is what lingers after the moment ends. Another mistake men make is trying to create reaction. They look for confirmation. They monitor responses. That monitoring breaks presence. The moment stops being shared and starts being evaluated. The Stoic approach is simple. Do what is within your control. Your breath, your pace, your awareness. Release what is not. The outcome, the interpretation, the reaction. When you operate from that frame, your hands stop being nervous messengers and become extensions of calm intent. That calm intent is what people remember, not the action itself. If you want to master this level of self-command and understand how presence applies across attraction and life, consider joining the channel as a member. That is where we go deeper into these principles and how to embody them consistently. If this clarified what truly matters, type "I move with control" in the comments. Stay with me, because next we will talk about why timing and restraint quietly create more desire than effort ever could. Number 5. The power of slow control. Folks, slow control is the quiet skill that separates men who create tension from men who kill it. Let's be real. Speed is usually fear in disguise. Slowness, when it is chosen, signals control. And control is what the body responds to first. Most men rush because they want certainty. They want the moment defined. They want to know where they stand. That urgency leaks through posture, movement, and timing. Even when nothing inappropriate happens, the energy feels off. The body senses pressure before the mind can explain it. Slow control works because it removes pressure without removing intent. It says, "I am here, I am aware, and I am not trying to force anything." That combination creates a feeling of safety mixed with anticipation. Anticipation is where attraction lives. Let's ground this with a real situation. Stephen is 52, a regional operations manager in New Jersey. He meets Natalie, 47, a marketing strategist who values composure and confidence. Their conversations are engaging. There is mutual interest. At moments of closeness, Stephen feels the urge to move faster. He worries about missing the window. The first time he rushes transitions. Moments start and end quickly. Natalie enjoys his company, but nothing deepens. The connection stays light. The next time Stephen changes one thing, he slows himself down. When moments shift, he pauses. He lets his breath settle. He allows space before moving or speaking. Natalie feels the difference immediately. The interaction feels heavier, more intentional, even though Stephen is doing less. That is the power of slow control. Slow control tells the nervous system that nothing is being taken. Everything is chosen. That choice creates trust. Trust allows sensation to register instead of being filtered out. Most men think intensity comes from action. In reality, intensity comes from pacing. A moment that unfolds slowly gives the body time to respond. A rushed moment is processed and dismissed just as fast. Stephen notices that when he slows down, Natalie stays closer. She lingers. She mirrors his pace. The interaction becomes shared instead of managed. Here is the deeper point. Slow control requires internal discipline. You cannot fake it. If your mind is racing, your body will betray you. True slowness comes from being comfortable with uncertainty. This is where Stoic thinking matters. Control what is within your power, your breath, your pace, your awareness. Release what is not, the outcome, the reaction. When you do that, your movements become clean and deliberate. Natalie responds not to Stephen's actions, but to his restraint. Restraint communicates confidence because it shows you are not afraid of the moment ending. You are not chasing continuation. You are allowing it. Slow control also protects your dignity. You do not overextend. You do not linger out of fear. You do not retreat out of discomfort. You begin and end moments cleanly. Clean endings leave residue. Rushed endings erase it. This skill applies everywhere. Handshakes, goodbyes, pauses in conversation. The man who controls his pace controls the emotional temperature of the room. Stephen did not become colder. He became steadier. That steadiness allowed Natalie to relax and engage more fully. If you have ever felt a moment improve when you slowed down, type "I move slowly" in the comments. Stay with me, because next we will break down why timing matters more than effort and how restraint quietly amplifies attraction. Number 6. Why timing creates desire. Folks, timing is the silent force that decides whether a moment lands or disappears. Let's be real. You can have presence, restraint, and intention, but if your timing is off, desire never ignites. Timing is not about waiting longer or moving faster. It is about acting when the moment is ready, not when your anxiety is. Most men fail here because they move based on fear. Fear of missing the window, fear of being misread, fear of losing momentum. That fear pushes them early or late, and both feel wrong. The body notices misalignment instantly. Timing creates desire because it respects the nervous system. Desire does not like to be rushed. It also does not like to be stalled. It wants rhythm. When your timing matches the emotional tempo of the moment, the body opens instead of bracing. Stoic philosophy explains this with precision. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself to act in accordance with nature. Nature moves in cycles, not impulses. When you force action outside the natural rhythm, resistance appears. When you move with rhythm, things unfold smoothly. Here is the psychological core. Desire rises when anticipation and safety overlap. If you act too early, safety has not settled. If you act too late, anticipation dissolves. Timing is the bridge between the two. Men often confuse patience with hesitation. Patience is grounded and alert. Hesitation is fearful and stalled. The body can feel the difference. Epictetus taught that clarity comes from knowing what is within your control. Your readiness is within your control. The outcome is not. Good timing begins with awareness. Awareness of breath, awareness of pace, awareness of the shared emotional state. When you are present, you sense when a moment is ripe. When you are outcome-focused, you miss it. Another Stoic insight matters here. Seneca warned that haste leads to regret. In moments of connection, haste collapses depth. Acting at the right time creates impact without force. Timing also communicates leadership. Not social leadership, but emotional leadership. When you move at the right moment, you signal that you are not being dragged by impulse. You are choosing. Choice feels safe. Safety allows desire to grow. Most men think desire comes from boldness. Boldness without timing feels invasive. Timed action feels confident. Confidence without pressure is magnetic. There is also the discipline of ending moments. Timing is not only about beginning. Ending at the right moment preserves energy. Ending too late drains it. Ending too early feels unfinished. The right ending leaves residue. This is why restraint amplifies timing. When you are willing to let a moment pass without forcing it, your actions become cleaner. Clean actions are felt more strongly than busy ones. The Stoic path is simple but demanding. Master yourself before you try to influence the moment. Control your breath. Control your pace. Release the need to control the outcome. When you do this consistently, your timing improves naturally. Desire is not triggered by effort. It is triggered by alignment. Timing is alignment made visible. If this reframes how you see timing, type "I trust timing" in the comments. Stay with me because next we will break down the difference between comfort and tension and why confusing the two quietly kills attraction. Number 7. The difference between comfort and tension. Folks, this is where most men unknowingly shut attraction down. They confuse comfort with connection and mistake tension for danger. Let's be real. Comfort keeps things pleasant. Tension keeps things alive. Without tension, moments blend together and disappear. With tension, moments stay with you. Comfort is familiarity. It is predictability. It is knowing what will happen next. Comfort is useful, but comfort alone does not create pull. Tension is the subtle feeling that something could happen, but does not need to. It is uncertainty held inside safety. Most men chase comfort because it feels secure. They smooth everything out. They avoid pauses. They avoid silence. They try to keep the mood light and agreeable. The result is friendly energy that never deepens. Here is a real situation. Paul is 54, a supply chain manager in Phoenix. He meets Elena, 48, a corporate trainer who is socially sharp and emotionally aware. Their conversations are easy. Paul is attentive, polite, and consistent. Elena enjoys his company, but the dynamic stays flat. Paul notices that everything feels comfortable, but nothing escalates emotionally. There is no edge, no spark. The issue is not lack of interest, it is lack of tension. Comfort without tension feels safe but static. Tension without comfort feels unsafe and unstable. Attraction lives in the balance between the two. The next time Paul sees Elena, he changes one thing. He allows pauses. He does not rush to fill silence. He lets moments breathe. He stays calm instead of eager. The energy shifts. Elena feels it immediately. The interaction feels different, even though nothing obvious changed. That difference is tension. Tension is created by restraint, by not resolving everything, by allowing space for anticipation. When a man can tolerate silence and uncertainty, the moment gains weight. Back to Paul and Elena. When Paul stops managing the mood, Elena becomes more engaged. She leans in. She holds eye contact longer. She stays present instead of drifting. Comfort is still there, but now it is charged. Most men destroy tension by over-reassuring. They explain too much. They soften everything. They try to make sure she feels okay at all times. That constant smoothing removes polarity. Tension does not mean discomfort. It means contrast. Stillness next to curiosity. Calm next to uncertainty. Presence next to restraint. Elena did not respond to Paul doing more. She responded to Paul holding back just enough to let the moment develop naturally. This is important. Tension cannot be forced. It appears when you are grounded enough to let things remain unresolved. When you rush to closure, tension collapses. Comfort is what allows tension to be felt safely. Without comfort, tension feels threatening. Without tension, comfort feels dull. Paul learned that attraction does not come from pleasing. It comes from allowing space. Space gives the body room to respond instead of shutting down. Here is the principle to remember. Comfort keeps her relaxed. Tension keeps her engaged. You need both, but in the right ratio. If you have ever felt things stay friendly but go nowhere, type "I see the difference" in the comments. Stay with me, because next we will talk about how stillness alone can trigger attraction without adding anything at all. Number 8. How stillness triggers attraction. Folks, stillness is one of the most misunderstood forces in attraction. Most men assume attraction is created through action, movement, and initiative. Let's be real. Action without stillness feels restless. Movement without stillness feels nervous. Stillness is what gives actions weight. Stillness is not passivity, it is controlled presence. It is the ability to remain grounded without filling space out of discomfort. When a man can stay still emotionally and physically, he communicates certainty without words. The nervous system responds to this immediately. Stillness signals that nothing needs to be rushed. There is no threat. There is no urgency. That sense of safety allows attention to sharpen instead of scatter. This is why silence can feel electric or awkward. The difference is not the silence itself. It is the internal state behind it. When silence comes from anxiety, the body tightens. When silence comes from confidence, the body opens. Stoic philosophy explains this clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote that tranquility comes when the mind is not pulled by impulse. A tranquil mind creates calm energy. Calm energy is felt as authority. Authority without force is deeply attractive. Most men struggle with stillness because it exposes insecurity. When nothing is happening, the mind wants to interfere. It wants to perform. It wants to manage perception. That interference leaks into the body as tension. Stillness requires self-trust. Trust that you do not need to add anything. Trust that the moment is enough. When you trust yourself, others feel it. Another Stoic insight comes from Epictetus, who taught that strength is shown in what you do not react to. In moments of connection, reacting too quickly breaks the spell. Stillness allows the moment to develop on its own terms. Here is the psychology behind it. The human brain is wired to notice contrast. When everything is fast and noisy, stillness stands out. It creates focus. Focus heightens sensation. Heightened sensation is often mistaken for chemistry. Stillness also creates space for projection. When you do not rush to define the moment, the other person's mind fills the gap. That internal engagement is far more powerful than external stimulation. Most men kill attraction by over-validating. They reassure. They explain. They soften edges. Stillness does the opposite. It allows edges to remain. Those edges create polarity. Seneca warned that a man who cannot sit with himself cannot command respect. Stillness is sitting with yourself in real time. When you are comfortable there, others relax into your presence. Stillness also governs endings. Ending a moment without lingering or rushing leaves an impression. It says the moment was complete, not desperate for extension. That completeness is felt as confidence. This is not about withholding. It is about containment. Stillness contains energy instead of dispersing it. Contained energy feels intentional. Many men fear stillness because they think it will make them invisible. The opposite is true. Stillness makes you noticeable because it is rare. The practice is simple but uncomfortable. Slow your breath. Let pauses exist. Resist the urge to fill every gap. Allow moments to land before moving on. When you master stillness, you stop chasing reaction. You stop monitoring outcomes. You let attraction arise instead of trying to manufacture it. That is why stillness triggers attraction. It signals self-command, emotional safety, and quiet confidence all at once. If this changes how you see silence, type "I stay still" in the comments. Stay with me because next we will talk about how restraint turns moments into memories that last far longer than effort ever could. Number 9. When restraint feels intoxicating. Folks, restraint is the signal most men never learn to send. Let's be real. Anyone can show interest. Anyone can lean in, explain, pursue, or extend a moment. Very few men can stop themselves at the right time. And that ability is what makes restraint feel intoxicating instead of confusing. Restraint works because it contradicts expectation. The nervous system is used to pressure escalation and emotional grabbing. When those things do not happen, attention sharpens. The absence of force creates space, and space amplifies sensation. Most men think attraction grows through addition. More words, more contact, more reassurance. In reality, attraction often grows through subtraction. Removing urgency removes anxiety. Removing anxiety allows desire to breathe. Let's ground this in a real situation. Michael is 55, a logistics director in Texas. He meets Claire, 49, a financial analyst who is composed and observant. Their interaction is calm, focused, and warm. There are moments where Michael feels the urge to push forward, to extend closeness, to lock the moment in. Instead, he holds back. He allows pauses. He ends moments cleanly. He does not linger or seek confirmation. Claire feels something unusual. Not confusion, curiosity. The interaction stays with her long after it ends. That is restraint. Restraint communicates abundance. It says you are not afraid of the moment ending. You are not clinging to it. You trust that connection does not disappear just because you did not chase it. Most men confuse restraint with withdrawal. They pull back emotionally or become distant to appear strong. That is not restraint. That is avoidance. True restraint is staying present without needing more. Michael does not become colder. He remains warm and engaged, but he does not overextend. Claire senses the balance. The interaction feels controlled, not needy. That balance creates tension without pressure. Here is why restraint feels intoxicating. It allows anticipation to build without resolution. The mind fills in what the body has not rushed to complete. That internal engagement is powerful. Back to Michael and Claire. After several interactions marked by clean endings, Claire initiates more. She leans forward emotionally, not because Michael pushed, but because he did not. Restraint also signals emotional discipline. A man who can stop himself is perceived as someone who can handle intensity without being consumed by it. That perception creates trust. Trust deepens attraction. Many men fear restraint because they think it will reduce interest. The opposite is often true. Over-availability reduces value. Calm availability increases it. Claire responds not to what Michael does, but to what he chooses not to do. That choice is felt as confidence. Restraint also preserves dignity. You do not chase reactions. You do not negotiate connection. You allow moments to end while they are still charged. That charge carries forward. The key is internal alignment. Restraint only works when it is genuine. If you are holding back while internally anxious, the body feels tension. If you are holding back while grounded, the body feels control. Michael's restraint works because he is comfortable either way. He is not performing scarcity. He is embodying self-command. Here is the principle to remember. Intensity without restraint overwhelms. Restraint without presence feels empty. When you combine both, the moment becomes unforgettable. If you have ever noticed attraction grow when you did less, type "I choose restraint" in the comments. Stay with me because next we will bring everything together and show how one controlled moment can change how you are remembered. Number 10. Becoming unforgettable in one moment. Folks, becoming unforgettable is not about intensity, boldness, or trying to create a peak experience. Let's be real. People remember how they felt around you, not what you did. One moment becomes unforgettable when it carries emotional coherence. Everything you've learned so far leads here. Unforgettable moments are not loud, they are clear. Most men think memorability comes from escalation. They believe that if they push a moment far enough, it will stick. In reality, forced moments blur together. What stands out is control. Control of self, control of pace, control of endings. Being unforgettable means your internal state matches the moment. There is no rush, no hesitation, no grabbing. You are simply there fully, and then you leave without needing confirmation. That combination creates contrast. Let's ground this in a real situation. Andrew is 57, a senior project manager in Seattle. He meets Lisa, 51, a corporate wellness consultant. Their interactions are calm and focused. There is mutual interest, but Andrew does not try to turn every meeting into something more. One evening, after a long conversation, there is a natural pause. Andrew stays still. He holds eye contact. He does not rush forward or pull away. The moment lasts only seconds, but it feels complete. Then he steps back, smiles lightly, and ends the evening cleanly. Nothing dramatic happens. No big gesture. No over-explanation. Yet that moment stays with Lisa. Why? Because Andrew did not collapse the moment by chasing it. He allowed it to land and then he let it go. That is what makes a moment unforgettable. It ends while it still has energy. Most men ruin memorability by overstaying. They linger too long. They extend moments out of fear that nothing else will come. That fear leaks into behavior and drains the charge. Andrew's calm ending communicates abundance. It says, "This moment mattered, and I do not need to squeeze it dry to prove it." Unforgettable moments are structured. They have a beginning, a presence, and an ending. When any part is missing, the moment dissolves. Presence without an ending feels unresolved. An ending without presence feels empty. This is where Stoic discipline shows its value. You act according to your values, not your impulses. You do not try to control how the moment is received. You control how you show up and how you leave. Lisa later realizes that Andrew never tried to impress her. He never rushed her reactions. He never asked for reassurance. That absence of need created a strong emotional imprint. Here is the deeper truth. Being unforgettable is not about doing something special. It is about being internally consistent. When your actions, timing, and restraint all come from the same calm center, people feel coherence. Coherence feels rare. Rare is memorable. Another reason restraint works is because it allows imagination to engage. When you do not explain everything or close every loop, the mind fills in the space. That mental engagement lasts longer than any physical action. Andrew becomes unforgettable, not because of one move, but because he trusts himself enough to let moments end naturally. That trust communicates confidence without words. Here is the principle to carry forward. A man who can leave a moment intact is a man who will be remembered, not because he demanded attention, but because he never needed it. This is how everything you've learned comes together. Presence creates weight. Timing creates rhythm. Stillness creates focus. Restraint creates memory. Master those, and one moment is enough. Folks, today we broke down why most moments fail to land, and how presence, timing, stillness, and restraint quietly change everything. You learned why rushing kills impact, why control creates tension, and how one calm, deliberate moment can stay with her far longer than effort ever could. If you want to go deeper and learn how to embody these principles consistently in attraction and in life, consider joining the channel as a member. That's where I share more advanced Stoic frameworks and practical guidance you won't find in public videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow.